everyone, it's Laurie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming to you with another kind of essential slash not essential video. I just like making those lists. It helps me organize my thoughts, and hopefully it helps you as well figure out what you do need and not need for your baby. Now today I want to share with you all some useless baby things we did not need, but I do want to preface this by saying that every baby is different, and based on your lifestyle you may need some of those things, so it really depends on you and your baby. So don't take all of this with do take all of this with a grain of salt, and do consider what is best for you. But here are some of the things that haven't been necessary for me or my family. So the first one is a nursery. Yes, I am sitting in a baby room. It is not a nursery. First of all, it's a storage room. And it's only because our bedroom is too small to have this dresser in. Otherwise, like, there wouldn't be really any baby things in here. So everything is either in the living room or in the bedroom except for this dresser, because there's no place to put it. So yeah, we don't have a need for a nursery at all, and definitely not to decorate a whole room for a baby. We're only in this house for a couple more years, so he will never actually remember this room anyways. Next, kind of along the same line, is a crib. So we did intentionally decide to co-sleep, so we don't have a crib or a bassinet for that matter, so a bassinet is not necessary either for us. So we haven't needed this, and so far it's worked. Depending on how he gets as he grows bigger, we might invest in one, but right now it hasn't been useful for us. Next is a mobile. So obviously, because we're co-sleeping, like, there isn't a mobile on top of his crib or something, but we haven't found a use for it either. He really dislikes being on his back, so whenever he's awake, he's not typically spending time on his back, so he would never really get to see it anyways. Next are some baby hangers. So first of all, we don't have any cutesy outfits or anything fancy, so everything that we have can be folded and is in this drawer. Actually, it all fits into one drawer. And so yeah, we don't have to hang any of his clothes, and we definitely don't need tiny little baby hangers. Next is a Playyard or a pack and play. Again, that depends on your lifestyle. You might find it very useful, but for us, there isn't really a need for it right now. That might change in the future, but for now it really isn't a necessary item, and we don't really have the space for it either. Next is a diaper bag. Now, we do have a backpack. It's a sports backpack. It isn't a diaper bag like dedicated for that. I find those diaper bags all very expensive, to be honest. Like those Kip Hop bags and stuff, and other brands are all so expensive. And plus, I wanted something that was a little bit more like gender neutral, because I wanted him to be able to carry it as well. Like, I didn't want a purse looking bag that only I could carry. Plus, I'm not really a big purse person. I don't really have any purses. So next is a baby bottle drying rack. We have a drying rack for our dishes because we don't have like a dishwasher, and the bottles and the baby things can dry on there perfectly fine. We did not need that little grass looking drying rack that everybody has. We don't have space for that on our counter anyways, plus it's not that aesthetically pleasing in my opinion. Next is a sterilizer. Again, first of all, we barely ever use bottles, so it's definitely would just be a total waste for us. If you're exclusively using bottles, that might be different, but we do sterilize our bottles and stuff just by boiling some water on the stove, so that's worked good enough for us. Next is a wipe warmer. I know, like, some people swear by it and some people like think it's completely useless. Kainoa isn't fussy enough to want warm wipes. Like, he's totally okay with room temperature wipes, so we haven't needed that at all. Next is some mittens. A lot of people also say that mittens are the greatest. He really likes to suck on his hand, like not on his thumb, but like on the side of his hand. And so I wouldn't want to stifle him with some mittens. Although he did scratch his face a handful of times, as long as you keep up with trimming his nails, like, it's not too much of an issue. Next is a high chair. So we did get a Bumbo Multi, and I don't believe we'll be needing an actual high chair, and if we do, we'll probably get it secondhand, but probably not. It's definitely not necessary. Next are shoes and socks, especially for babies, like for newborn babies that don't walk. Having like some footed pants like this and footed jammies is much better than socks. Baby socks do not stay on, and they don't need shoes until they start walking. Next is a ton of bottles. We have 2 bottles, and that was enough even back when I was exclusively bottle feeding him. You just wash them after you use them. So you really don't need to have like 10,000 bottles. You might want to get a couple kinds so you know what they like best, or start with one, and if they don't like it, then try a second kind. But to us, the Komotomo bottles have worked perfectly fine, and we definitely don't need any more than a couple bottles. Next is a baby food processor. I see a lot of people buying those, and I just don't understand the necessity of it. I mean, if you don't have a regular food processor, you might want to get a baby food processor, but might as well just get a regular food processor so you can use it in your cooking for yourself as well. Next is a changing table. Now, we do have a changing table, and we did have like a changing mat up here before, but we usually change him on the bed, so we don't need the changing mat because we don't come out here to change him anymore. And we do have a changing table downstairs just because it's convenient, but we could just as easily change him on the couch or on the coffee table. It's definitely not necessary. Next is swaddling blankets. We have so many swaddling blankets and receiving blankets. We do use the receiving blankets as bear cloths, so that's okay. But we don't have any use for the swaddling blankets, and you don't need a bajillion. Like, you might want to have a handful, but that's about it. I've used the swaddling blanket once, exactly one time, when we went to a mommy group, just to line my yoga mat with it, so you could lie on it, but again, not necessary. So definitely don't overbuy swaddle blankets. Next is newborn clothes. So I bought a box of secondhand newborn clothes because I wasn't even sure he would ever fit in them, and I was right. He barely ever fit in any newborn clothes. He was already in 0 to 3 months when he was born. You might have a smaller baby that will need more newborn clothes, but I would start with the absolute bare minimum, see if they need it, and then get more if they do need it, because you don't want to spend like $300 on clothes he's never gonna wear or she's never gonna wear. And kind of along with that is cute clothes. Like, babies spend their days in jammies and bodysuits or naked. Like, they don't need fancy outfits unless you have a specific event or you want to do some kind of photo shoot, but definitely don't overdo it on really cute outfits that are way more expensive than they're worth, and that you don't want to get stained, and that are a hassle to put on and off. So that pretty much concludes like the useless baby things that we did not need personally. Again, some of these things might be completely different for you. You might need them. And I did also make another video kind of along the same line that are some baby products that I regret purchasing. I will link it down below because that would be additional items that I probably did not mention in this video that you may not need as well. So I will leave it to that. Again, let me know in the comments below if any of these are useful to you, or if there's anything I did not mention that you did not find useful at all for yourself. Thanks for watching. I love you all very much, and I will see you all with more videos very soon. Bye!